Hi there. I'd like to tell you some stories about the places I've been and the things I've done, the boats I've owned, the vans I've customized and loved, and the motorhomes I've lived in, boondocked with, cooked in, and fished from. Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. Good morning, YouTube. Well, I'm back from Portland, Oregon, and it's nice to be home, and life is good in Mexico. I've been thinking about why I started this channel and what I wanted to do with it, and I'm still not sure about that. I just thought I wanted to tell a few stories, and then all of a sudden I kind of got into documenting my life, which really isn't where I want the channel to go. So today I thought I'd get back to where my original thought was and just tell you a little story. And I'm going to tell you about one time when we caught a shark. We were up in Canadian waters in our 25-foot Campion boat, which we used to go up there for 2 or 3 weeks in between Vancouver Island and the mainland. It's a wonderful place to go boating. And I and a guy named Merv were out in our dinghies, which is like an 8-foot Livingston dinghy, fishing for something to eat that night, and not having much success. But one of the things we hooked into was a shark. And the first shark we hooked into, when the mouth full of teeth, about this big around, came up out of the water, we just let the drag go and cut the line, because we're having nothing to do with a shark that big in an 8-foot dinghy. There isn't a lot of room left in an 8-foot dinghy when you get 2 people in it and a couple of fishing poles and a tackle box and the gas tank for the 4-horse outboard. But we got to talking about this shark, and we thought, well, hey, if we catch a smaller one, we'll take it and we'll take a couple of fillets off it and barbecue it. And the conversation started like, hey, you know, they make scallops out of shark down in Texas. And it's another story, but I had actually met a guy down in Texas named the Shark Hunter. And he was always talking about eating sharks and how good it was. Anyway, we did. We hooked into another shark. We got this one in the boat, and it's about 4 feet long, which is, well, you got a part in the front of that boat up in the pointy end and a part in the back that's like a bench. So 4 foot pretty much took up all of the space down in the bottom of the boat. And it was exciting. So we're going back about half a mile back across the bay to the dock where the motherships are. And that shark had 4 live birth baby sharks about a foot long. And now we're in an 8-foot Livingston dinghy with 5 sharks. And the babies, you know, I don't think they would have been life-threatening, but they looked like they had teeth. Anyway, we put them out in the water and they swam away, apparently no worse for wear. When we got back to the dock, we took 4 fillets off of that shark, you know, about a foot long and maybe 1.5 inches thick and, I don't know, 3-4 inches wide. And we salted them and refrigerated them overnight, and the next evening we were up in a place called Princess Louisa Inlet. And Princess Louisa Inlet is a place that goes back into the mainland of Canada on the east side of the Georgia Strait. And it goes back in there several miles and right up into the mountains. The mountains come right down to the water. And there's a joke among boaters always about, you know, well, I wonder what the altitude is here, because you're right in the mountains. And of course the altitude is always sea level because you're in a boat. Anyway, we started to barbecue that that shark. And this wasn't a fancy shark. This wasn't a mako or a hammerhead or, you know, a bull shark. It wasn't any of those kind of sharks that you ought to probably be eating. It was a dogfish. And I'm not a marine biologist. I don't really know what the difference is. I probably tell the difference if I'm looking at it, but apparently you shouldn't be eating the dogfish, because when we started barbecuing that thing, the smell was absolutely horrible. There were several boats up there in the bay, and none of them left, but I'm sure some of them thought about it, just from the smell of that thing barbecuing. And I don't think we ever did have a bite of it. We just threw it in the water and let the crabs have it. So I guess the lesson is don't eat a dogfish, and make sure you got a boat big enough if you're going shark fishing. That's my story for today. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and leave me a comment. See you tomorrow.